A mudlark was somebody that was roughly around the 1850s. Could have been a child or a man that would have come down here or all over London and picked up scrap, anything, wood to sell, metal to sell. They basically just scavenged up and down the foreshore looking for bits and pieces. That guy down there, we call him Axeman, yeah, because he's got one of the biggest collections of axe heads there are. He's just got the eye for it. I can find certain things down here. He can find other things. People will say to you, oh, do you find treasure and stuff like this? Well, yeah, once in a blue moon you do find the odd gold coin and stuff like that. But that's not really the thing that does it for me. Yes, it's nice to have. But it's those one-off things like believe it or not, like we saw some shoes down here early on. That's what does it for me. I love shoes, but not that age of shoe. I like medieval shoes. And you can pick those up down here. There's thousands of things down here. In this area now, we can have Roman coins. We can have Neolithic. We can have axes down here, so caveman axes. There's just everything down here. Saxon, Viking. And there's no other place here in the world that you can find this kind of thing in just this, such a small area. Oh, there you go. Right. This is your first find. This is called the spur of the pipe. The more shallower that is, the older the pipe. Now, you're going to say to me, yeah, but that one's quite shallow compared to that one. If they almost cut across, it'll be a 16th century pipe. Plus, you'll notice, yeah, because the bowls are really small. But on the spur, yeah, you get maker's marks. Now, you're lucky on that one, due to the fact you've got Rayo written on it. Yeah. It could have been for anything. It looks like it's got either a set of horns on it. It could be a Spanish pipe. See how it's all pitted, where it's rolled up and down like a stone. So depending on where you actually find them on the foreshore, depends on the conditions as well. They'd get a pot, they'd snip a piece of skin off their finger, they'd get a nail, take a small nail off, they'd get a nail, like the ones we've got here, even though that's not a nail, but it's close enough, they get a rusty nail, and they bend it. And the reason why they would bend it, was they'd put it into the pot, they'd put your piece of skin, they'd put your nail in, they put a rusty nail in there, then they put a little piece of silk in there, because silk was very expensive in those days, so I put a little bit of silk in there. Sometimes they put some hair in there, and then they'd pee in the pot. They'd actually have a pee in the pot, and they would seal it. And what that actually does, is it's a way of deferring a spell from your house. So you'd come down to the Thames, and you throw it into the Thames. And many have been found. They still come up. One came up about a year ago, and it still had the pee in it because they're sealed. So it still had somebody's medieval pee in there. And the reason why they bent the nail was so when the witch had a pee as well, it would hurt the witch to have a pee. Oh. Sometimes they're built into fireplaces. If you buy a really old house, you get people taking down their fireplaces and also the fronts of doors, and you'll find Bellarmine pots indoors. Right, that one there, what do you reckon?
The ring of some of the clothes.
Buckle. It's an actual old medieval buckle. So you'd have, this would be pulled through your clothing. So we'd pull that through the shirt like that, that'd be pulled through like that, and then you'd have a pin going through, just like a normal buckle, but it's a nice little medieval one, so that's another one of your old ones you've got. If we went up on a bridge or whatever, and we chucked off a load of coinage, so we threw off our 10p's, our 5p's, our pennies, and we come back a couple of hundred years later, they actually go into strands, which means that if we find a little place down here, that we have, we're always looking for nails. Nails are a good place to look. If you see nails, hopefully you'll have something else there. And the reason why that is the nails clump together, and things of that size clump together as well. So if we were to find like our 5p's that we threw in 500 years ago, if we were to look here, we'd have little rows of 5p's. It's a bit hard, because it's so worn, but can you see anything on that? What does it look like to you?
Is it like a queen's head or something?
Yeah, it's very good, It's a head, it's a bust of a coin. So all coins near enough have busts of the king or the queen or whatever. But that there is a Roman coin. Oh. So you've actually got a coin that's like 2,000 years old. He came down last week with us, and in one session he found 4 hammered coins. Now some of those hammered coins, one of those hammered coins is £1,500.
Is it?
Yeah, for a coin. And so, just by luck. So that could be your luck. Imagine what 1,500 quid could buy you. Yeah. So today, that coin you could have just picked up. Yeah, could have made you 1,500 quid. And sometimes some of them are worth £40,000. And there's some that are worth even more if you're lucky. So in 100 years' time, somebody can look at some of the work that we've done and actually put things together and work out, where a dock was, or where something was actually going on the foreshore, maybe 100, maybe 2,000 years ago. And by the items that actually come up off of the foreshore, it tells a story.